been in the business for almost 6 years. June 1st will be my anniversary, so I'm approaching my 6 year anniversary. Um, Service DC and Maryland, primarily Prince George's County, Charles County, Montgomery County, and all of Washington DC. Um, Three beautiful kids. If you follow me and you know me, you know that they are my heart, they are my world. I love and respect their mom because she's a big part of their life, and yet I'm still a single dad. I have a beautiful fiance now. Some of y'all that was at family reunion, y'all may have met her. She was there alongside with me. We'll be getting married in September. So I'm praise God to that. Found a beautiful woman to partner with in life. And as far as like you said, last year was definitely my best year, not just production wise, yet in growth. Right. I grew so much because I discovered who I was more than anything else, and becoming a leader, and understanding my core values and the things to say no to and the things to say yes to at the same time. I am a maps mastery right now, so that was a big part of my growth. Yeah, so got this year I am tracking to do about 36 units. I'm putting the gas to the pedal so I can get to 45. So we just got to keep working and keep grinding to service everybody that's in our community.
Indeed.
Yep.
So in in the DC Maryland area, not that it's important, but what's your average transaction size? And again, I'm asking because I was talking with Myrna Harrison yesterday from San Diego, right? And we think California, and we think, oh man, everything is $1 million, 2 million, 5 million, but that's not really the case. There's some affordable areas around. Like here in our area, we run right around 450 to 500. What's an average there in your area?
So the average home sale price is about 450. Yeah.
Okay.
It all depends. If you're in DC, it can go up to 675 easily. Outside of DC, it drops down about 450, somewhere in that range. So it's a lot of opportunity here. If you know anything about the DMV area, the infrastructure here is so great that the housing prices continue to appreciate because of the job market that's here.
And with that being the case, do you work? Is there military around? Because I think okay.
Yeah.
Because here
it's like
we don't have any really.
Yeah. So it's actually like 6 military installations, 3 major ones with 6 military installations in like a 20-mile radius. So you got Andrews Air Force Base. Shout out to all the Air Force men and women. I see Sharika on here and Monique. Then you got Bowlins Air Force Base, of course, for me, Quantico right down the street. So you have a lot of military installations in this area. So military is definitely a big part of the market here.
Is that a big part of your business, or it's medium?
I love my VA clients, and yet I don't get to service them as much as I could and should. To be honest with you, you familiar with John Newman, correct?
Yes.
He was a team leader in the other region. I'm sorry, up north from me. Yeah, I had a conversation with him the end of 2022, and he put me on. Well, he opened my mind up to my audience, and most of my audience is actually what I like to call the silver society, which is retirees and people of that age. So that's how I actually got most of my listings last year, because most of my clientele was moving out of the area or downsizing or right sizing. So that's really like my main niche right now, at least for 2023 it was.
Well, see, I think that's valuable right there, that because I was telling someone just the other day that my average client is really within 10 of me. So basically 48 to 50 up to 8 there, and I think that's clearly, we're servicing the same communities for the most part. So
and I felt like that. outside of first-time home buyers, they needed the education the most because, we say, oh, selling a house is easy. And yet it's still a complicated, as we all know on this platform, it's still a complicated process. And it's a lot of hand-holding, patience. I can remember even driving back and forth just to get documents signed because they didn't have, they wasn't technology savvy, if you will. So, so I felt like that my calling was definitely right there for them.
Right, right. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Just a couple of things. You've given us a couple of bullet points, and you're in MAPS coaching. Who is your coach?
Chris Lagarde.
Okay, because I finished at 9:45 with my coach, so it's every Tuesday, and I've got Carlos Heron out of Miami, who I love and hate at the same time. But I think that's what makes a good coach, right? He challenges me, and I appreciate that. So, 9, did I get it right? 9 times you've been to bowl?
Yes.
Okay, because again, my best buddy, who you'll see there on the screen, Kelly Can, she's, again, we argue all the time. I think Kelly's around 18, I think. I'm at 16, Kelly Jane. I'm at 16, and I know the benefits that I've gotten. Can you what has bowl done, for you if you've taken it 9 times?
So every time I've taken bowl, it was a different experience because I was a different person. And I think it always brings everything back to perspective, no matter what's going on around you and in the market. It always brings everything back to perspective, and that's just basically just staying focused on the fundamentals, staying true to the activities. Don't worry about the results, right? So it was always important for me to take bowl because every time I seen my numbers during bowl and after bowl, and then when bowl wasn't going on, right? So our market center has done a great job at bringing bowl to our market center at least twice a year. So shout out to our team leader, Jamal Daniels, phenomenal team leader. I've watched his growth as well.
Right.
But bowl has definitely basically just brought me back to the fundamentals of real estate and business.
Right. I would say the same thing. The 7 or 8 weeks that I'm in bowl, I always outproduce the previous and the post. And if I could just maintain it,
that's why they have bowl, and that's why we take it so many times.
Yes. Folks are like, Ben, you must be slow, and I'm like, yes, I am. but I didn't ride the short bus though. I didn't.
Right.
Disrespect to those, it did. But yeah, I got to be pounded over the head time and time again. But again, I digress. That's just me. So that's me and my buddy Steve, who I see on screen. So, Chad, what else in the marketplace are you doing, I think, to continue to win at a high level? And I'm asking because I see that I think it's May 1st. Maybe I'm wrong on the date. You've got a home buyers program going on. And have you done that consistently? And has that been fruitful for you?
So I've done home buyer seminars, workshops in the past, and I've seen that they were effective, and I got away from it. And my MAPS coach actually challenged me to start doing them to build up my pipeline. And that's really the focus, just to continue to build up the pipeline, especially with all the misinformation that's going on out there. I think it's important for us as a community to bring the correct information to the public, and really just to continue to build up my pipeline. And what I have discovered, because I don't really work with buyers a lot, right? Yet when I was doing it, I got listings out of it as well. So I was like, hold on, wait a minute. This is a good way to not only get listings, but to build up my buyer pool as well as I start putting my team together. I'm in the process of hiring an executive assistant, and then bringing on some either showing agent or buyer's agent. So Jared will be helping me out with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
so yes, I think that we all should at some point consider doing it, seminars or workshops. I don't like calling them seminars. I like to call them workshops.
Absolutely.
Consistently. So he challenged me to do it once a week, actually. I know. I
Okay.
know. I know. So I think that's a muscle that I have to grow into. So I started off doing it once a month. So May 1st will be my first one in about probably about 18 months since I've actually done the last one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I enjoy it though because I get to have a platform like this, and I've been talking to a couple people that run them, and when they said that I could do it virtually and it was more effective for them to do it virtually, I was like, okay, yeah, that's the way to go. Is less cost effective. I think even Eventbrite only charge like $10 per for 100 people, and I can do it from my pajamas. No pun
Okay.
intended.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
put a suit jacket on and let it go.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
Jared, I like that. You said, celebration of information. I love that. So, and I asked specifically about it because I've attempted to do it, but clearly that's a growth opportunity for me because we've had, I think in both cases, 8 to 9, 10 people, maybe 11 register, but
Hmm.
only had, one show up. And so clearly
Yeah.
that's an area that I can grow in, and I haven't been consistent, so I have to admit that to myself. So, but
Yeah.
I do think that with the changes coming, that information and sharing that information, I think it's going to be key for us to continue to grow our database and serve the community at a high level. So, you do it and do it well, and then I'll have my R&D department reach out because we'll just rip it off and duplicate it, and here you go, because that's how
Well,
so much is done.
one thing to keep in mind, it's not about the event. It's about the things that we do before and after the event, right? So even if one or two people show up, it's we still have an opportunity to connect with our database, right? Between Twilio, phone calls, flyers, social media, everything in between and after, right? And then afterwards, we say, hey, we missed you on the home buyer workshop. I see this is a great opportunity. We'll have another one on X date. Please be sure to show up or share it with somebody that you think that might need this kind of information, right? So it's not really about the event. I'm not so much worried about that. um it's again, it's just like an open house. It's just like a client event. Anything that you're doing to connect with your database and your community, that's the beginning and the end, or the beginning and then the follow-up, because
Okay.
the fortune is in the follow-up. We will all
Amen.
agree with that, right?
Amen. 100, 100.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah,
done a really good job with my events, and we've got, I think next week we've got our, we do one at least every 60 days here.
yeah.
So that's the lesson we've learned. But Christina, we might need to again bring back the home buyers workshop. So we'll get on that. So,
Yeah.
Chad, is there something else that because again, we like to just hit it
Yeah.
and move on because we're busy. What else is there about Chad that we don't know?
Oh, do I want to be that transparent?
Hey, because it's family here, bro. We got your back. We got you.
um,
Good.
um, well, obviously I'm a faith believer. I'm a strong Christian. I'm a leader in my church as well. I didn't put that in my bio. Um, I run, well, I don't run it. I assist the minister with 11 different ministries in our church. Um, and that's really my North Star more than anything else. Like, if God is it for me, right? And I'm not pushing my faith on anybody else yet. That's where I just know that everything comes and goes through him. Um, what else? Kind, compassionate person. I love sharing. I love being here for anybody. Anybody that know me on this call, they know if they call me, I'm going to answer the phone. Right? If you need anything, I'm here for you. And because I believe in serving people, no matter what it's about. Right? It's never about the money for me. It's about serving people. And I think the money will be a byproduct of that at some point. It'll come back around. Um, let me think. I really love, as far as the business wise, I really love, even though this is the long game, uh, pre-foreclosures, because I was in that situation back in 2010. No, I'm sorry, 2015, and I want to help as many people as I can to really understand that process and help them understand the rights that they have. Because I know for me, when I was in the foreclosure status, it was like a scary time, and um, just you could be driving home and your stuff be on the curb, and you just never know, right? That's a really scary time for a lot of people. So I want to help as many people as I can to understand, at least understand their rights as a homeowner, because they still own the asset.
Wow. Well, again, I asked you and you were transparent.
Yeah,
So that right there is powerful because you know what? You've gone through some things. And I
yeah,
think we all have. And I think that brings, compassion and empathy for you as you serve. So
yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that. I knew
Absolutely.
that your faith was important. And I think for me, I always think, you know what, you do good for goodness sake. And
Yeah.
it's interesting how it can impact your business. And you know what, you don't go to church to pick up clients, but I
Mm-mm.
know
Did
that
I
because
get class
you
from church?
serve, you serve at a high level, and then you know
Yeah,
what? Then sometimes there's benefit that comes from that because people are
absolutely.
always watching, and I can tell you that's the reason why I wanted you on today because you know what, Christy wouldn't have shown up if the respect and Sharika wouldn't. And I look at Kenneth has already presented, and Jared has presented, and Monique has presented, and these folks don't show up
Yeah.
for somebody who is not showing out. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
So
y'all so much. I love
absolutely.
y'all.
Well, again, I think clearly, they love you, we love you, and I'm so thankful that you gave us a few minutes of your time. And so, as we leave, is there anything else you want to impart, or are we good to go?
Just stay focused on the activities more than anything else. I mean, I know we all been in this business for a while. Don't just block out the outside noise and just stay focused on the activities. Be kind as much as you can to the co-op agents because we know there's some interesting folks out there. So and they just maybe just misled, right? So let's just spread kindness and we'll get through this. It's just an adjustment.